Hey, it's your buddy Peace and Harmony with you here today, resuming our video and discussion on covert or overt narcissist crazy making and cognitive dissonance. I apologize, I had some technical difficulties there, but we're back on with it now. So we are talking about the cognitive dissonance, the confusion that is created in the mind of the victim or target who this narcissist is pursuing and seeking to unravel their mindset, their focus, and get them to comply with their requests, their world, everything that's going on with that narcissist and their needs, so that essentially the target can drop everything that they're doing and instead be absorbed in fulfilling the life needs of the narcissist. Now, one of the main tactics, very interesting, that you need to acknowledge in terms of crazy making is that of cognitive dissonance. And this is accomplished by giving the target, giving the victim a lot of double messages. And this is created very clearly, especially in familial relationships. We see it also in romantic and love relationships, where it's like, I need you, go away. I need you to clean the house, you're not doing it good enough. You should, now you should be studying, now you should be with friends, now you should be on the football team, now you should really be doing piano. They constantly, they're moving around giving all these different messages, and you're never in the right place at the right time for them. They constantly send this sort of, I'm not satisfied with you sort of message. And why do they do this? To create a sense of chaos, conflict, turmoil, and upheaval in the environment. So attention and focus can always be on them and their chaos and their discontent. Because no one likes to be in a hostile environment. No one likes to be in an angry environment. So the children and the romantic partner, the love interest, now are all of a sudden finding themselves entangled in reacting constantly to the upheaval and requests and double messages of the narcissist in their lives. And this can it originally become very sly and unbeknownst to the target. They don't realize what's going on. Originally it might be kind of exciting. Oh, sure, I can take care of those chores for you. Oh, sure, I can, take care of your car for you here. Especially with the romantic relationships, you're more than happy to be there for them and take care of them. Rearrange your schedule for them. Hear about what crisis is going on with their life. And, you end up forsaking your own needs and putting your own self on the back seat while they take the front seat. However, what happens is this starts to continue on a consistent basis, a chronic basis, meaning that there's a lot of double messages going on. When they might, say, I need someone to fulfill me, but yet they're not fulfilled. I need you to, come here and help me with this. Oh, this is just a disaster. This is just a disaster. This is just a horrible thing, and they're never happy. They're never grateful to you for their help. They use a lot of mixed messages and double messages going on as well. So, and you always feel like you've never quite satisfied their desire. They're very perfectionist in nature, tirelessly perfectionistic. So, things are never done, things are never reached a state of completion. You feel like the narcissist just works himself into a frenzy, until they're exhausted, and you're expected to live the same way. And oftentimes that's not healthy. It's a very dysfunctional way to be living in terms of, especially, perfectionistic with this crazy making and cognitive dissonance, these double messages going on. It's like, thanks for helping me, is the tone, and the messages are never really like, thank you so much, that was great, we got that done. It never reaches a completion, it never reaches a satisfaction. Things are always left, feeling like half done, even though they were completed. And you can never really appease their anger. Their anger is really relentless. Their anger is fairly chronic, and you really can't, work any harder to satisfy them. And you feel eventually like this, it begins very gradually, but then it becomes very abusive and very toxic to be around. And for example, the narcissist who's constantly on the greed, constantly on the up and up, constantly has to be superior to others or feels superior to others, you eventually get caught up into basically working for them, doing a lot of chores around the house, trying to be their emotional support when it should be the other way around. In other words, oftentimes I find that in families with narcissistic parents, the children are actually providing a lot of the emotional support to the parents rather than the parents providing emotional support to the kids. Because the parents, the narcissistic parents, are never satisfied. It's never good enough. We need a car, and then we need this car wax, and then we need to get the floors redone, and then we should really, get an extra carpet to go on here, and then we should really get this sealed, and then we should get the deck done. I mean, it's constantly in a state of, increase for them and building up items, and so, to appease their superior, holier than thou, sort of arrogant and conceited identity. And it's very tiring to keep up with these people. At first, it might seem exciting. Oh, our life is on the move. Our life is on the up and up. Our life is going places. However, these people can be tireless and they're never satisfied. And this is a result of their intrinsic inherent emptiness. And really a coldness that lurks beneath the surface of them. So if you're on that treadmill, you're going to be constantly feel like you're running and not really getting anywhere with them. It becomes a real emotional deficit that you start to experience when you continue on with these people. Again, this is considered to be kind of a perfectionist trait. If that describes your narcissist, I feel for you. But it creates a lot of this crazy making and this chaos, and you end up turning yourself inside out really to satisfy them. They become extremely unpredictable, so it keeps you working even harder to appease them. These double messages are kind of like, please take care of me, but I can't stand you. I need your help with this, or, let's have a relationship, yet it's so turbulent. So, it's really, the double messages can be quite pronounced or they can be quite subtle. It really varies per person and per couple. Really it's founded on a lot of their unrealistic expectations. So, they want to live this fantasy relationship. They want to have this amazing house. They want to have this amazing car. They want to have this amazing sex. And it's never reaches a sense of fulfillment because they're constantly dissatisfied. They constantly have that emptiness underneath, and you can it's like a bucket with a hole. You can keep pouring in, but the water is just going to keep going out the bottom, and then you're left continually trying to feed them. You exhaust yourself while they carry on, and they really should have their fill, but they're never satisfied. And so, it's just an air of that they're constantly disappointed with people. And, that becomes a real toxic environment that's created. Their impulsivity leads a lot to their unpredictability, but then their hostility creates that feeling of unpredictability as well. You never know what you're going to walk into, either at the house or if the narcissist is in your office. It can be quite unpredictable, and they think that this push and pull, this tug of war, is the most productive way to do things, is out of crisis mode, when it's not. You're burning through people, you're hurting people, you're making them work too hard, you're keeping unrealistic expectations, and oftentimes the narcissist isn't really being a good role model. They're acting out of a lot of hostility, rage, sort of, insubordinating of people. So you have to really, take a look at how these people create that crazy making in their environment. They might have the facade of being this leader, or the provider in the family, or just really highly intelligent, but yet there's a lot of madness behind, and oftentimes there's no method to the madness. So a lot of people just end up jumping around and trying to please this person, and it ends up sometimes being a very backfiring situation. So you have to be careful of these people who have such extreme high standards, because chances are they're just setting people in their environment up to failure. And it creates kind of an embarrassing situation. So it's hard to keep friendship, relationship with these people who are always dissatisfied. So just please keep a lookout for it. See if you can identify it. See if you can pull back, gain some perspective, and jump off that roller coaster if that's what they're encouraging in their crazy making and their double messages. Peace and harmony with you here today. Hope these videos help. Please share, please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussions, and support.